how to kickstart your business with artificial intelligence. The anatomy of modern AI, understanding its components and capabilities. Part 3. Module Introduction. In our last modules, we learned about big data and why it's important for AI. Then we learned about machine learning, including its different types. We learned about deep learning and find out what makes it so cool. In this module, we'll talk about natural language processing, the magic that helps computers understand what we're saying. What is natural language processing? Natural language processing is a way for computers to understand and interact with human language, like the words we use when we talk or write. It's a really important field because it helps us communicate with computers in a way that feels natural to us, like when we ask Siri or Alexa a question. Imagine you're in a restaurant in a foreign country and the menu is in a language you don't understand. Natural language processing could help you by using a computer program to translate the menu into a language you do understand. It's like having a special translator that can understand and speak all kinds of languages. Have you ever used a translation app to understand a menu in a foreign language? That's an example of natural language processing. Natural language processing, or NLP, is a field of computer science that focuses on teaching computers to understand and process human language. It's like teaching a computer how to speak and understand different languages, just like we do. Natural language processing, or NLP for short, is a part of artificial intelligence that helps computers understand human language. It allows computers to read, listen, and analyze text and spoken words just like humans do. This means that computers can understand and make sense of things like books, emails, social media posts, and even spoken conversations. NLP is very useful because it helps computers communicate with humans more easily and accurately, and it is used in many applications like language translation, chatbots, voice assistants, and more. So how does natural language processing work? NLP has two main parts: data pre-processing and algorithm development. Data pre-processing involves preparing and cleaning text data so that computers can understand it. This is like getting the text ready for the computer to analyze it. Pre-processing makes the text easier for the computer to work with and helps to identify important features in the text that an algorithm can use to make sense of it. To help computers understand and interpret written or spoken language like humans do, we use something called natural language processing, or NLP. NLP has two main parts: getting the data ready for the computer to use and developing algorithms to analyze that data. One important part of getting the data ready is called tokenization. This is when we break down the text into smaller pieces like sentences, words, or even just individual letters. By breaking the text down in this way, it makes it easier for the computer to understand and work with. For example, imagine you're trying to teach a computer how to read a book. You wouldn't want to give it the whole book at once because that would be too overwhelming. Instead, you might break it down into smaller sections like chapters or paragraphs. That's kind of what tokenization does. It breaks down the text into smaller, more manageable pieces. The first step in NLP is to break down the text into smaller parts, which is called tokenization. Then, we remove common words that don't give us much information, like and there. After that, we can reduce words to their root form so we can understand them better. For example, we can change running to run or jump to jump. This helps us process the text more easily and understand what it's trying to say. Once the data has been prepared for analysis, an algorithm is developed to process it. There are many different natural language processing algorithms, but two main types are commonly used. The first type is called rule-based systems. This algorithm uses a set of predefined rules to analyze text and make decisions. The second type is called machine learning algorithms. These algorithms learn from large amounts of data and become better over time at understanding natural language. Both types of algorithms can be used for different natural language processing tasks like language translation, sentiment analysis, and speech recognition. One way to create a natural language processing algorithm is through a rule-based system. This method involves creating rules that tell the computer how to analyze and understand language. These rules are made by experts in linguistics or computer engineers. Another way to create an NLP algorithm is through a machine learning-based system. This method uses statistical methods to teach the computer how to analyze and understand language. It involves feeding the computer large amounts of language data so it can learn how to recognize patterns and make predictions based on that data. Machine learning algorithms are like students who learn by practice. Just like we learn better by doing things multiple times, machines learn better with more data. They use this data to make decisions and improve their performance. For example, they can be taught to identify whether a piece of text is about sports or politics, and by processing more and more examples of text, they can get better and better at making accurate predictions. Imagine you have a computer program that can read a sentence and guess whether it is positive, negative, or neutral. To do this, the program first looks at the words in the sentence and picks out some important parts. Then, it feeds these parts into a special kind of computer that can learn from examples. This computer looks at lots of sentences with tags that say whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. It learns to find patterns in the words that tell it whether a sentence is good, bad, or just okay. This part is called training. Once the computer has learned from lots of examples, it can then read new sentences and make guesses about whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. This part is called testing or using the model. All the theory about NLP is interesting, but where can we use it in the real world? Let's take a look at some examples. One is chatbots. You may have used a chatbot before. It's a computer program that can chat with you like a human. Chatbots can use NLP to understand what you're saying and respond appropriately. Another example is virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa. They can understand your voice commands and do things like set a reminder or play a song for you. NLP makes it possible for them to understand what you're saying. NLP is also used for sentiment analysis. This means analyzing what people are saying about a product or brand online to determine if they have positive or negative feelings about it. Companies use this information to improve their products or services. Translation is another application of NLP. You may have used Google Translate before to translate text from one language to another. NLP makes this possible by analyzing the text and figuring out the best translation. There are many other applications of NLP in the real world, and it's an exciting field with lots of potential for making our lives easier. NLP is also used in analyzing customer feedback. Companies use it to understand what people think about their products or services. They look at what people are saying on social media or in reviews and use NLP to figure out if they are happy, angry, or neutral. This helps companies make changes to improve their products or services. Another way NLP is used is through virtual assistants and chatbots. These are like little robots that you can talk to and ask questions or get help with tasks. You might have seen virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa on your parents' phones or smart speakers. Chatbots are similar, but you can talk to them by typing instead of using your voice. They can help you find information, answer questions, and even play games with you. Another way NLP is used in the real world is for spam detection. The best spam detection technologies use NLP's text classification capabilities to scan emails and detect language that often indicates spam or phishing. NLP helps to recognize certain patterns in language that are commonly used in spam emails and can then classify them as such, which helps keep your inbox clean and free from harmful messages. NLP is important because it allows businesses to efficiently process massive quantities of text-heavy unstructured data. This helps companies analyze customer feedback, develop better products and advertising campaigns, and create virtual assistants or chatbots that can help people with their daily tasks. NLP is also important for detecting spam and phishing emails, which helps keep people safe online. By using NLP, businesses can save time and money and make better decisions based on the insights they gain from analyzing text data. Summary: we're almost done with this module. Let's recap the important parts. We started by talking about big data, which is when there's so much information that we can't analyze it in traditional ways. This is where AI comes in. Then, we learned about machine learning, which is a way for machines to learn from experience. It's a part of AI. We also learned about deep learning, which is a special type of machine learning that uses something called neural networks. Neural networks are like a brain for the machine, where it can learn and improve its ability to do things on its own. The process of learning in a neural network is called training. We also talked about how deep learning uses forward and back propagation to make improvements. Finally, we looked at NLP and natural language processing, which is a branch of AI that helps computers to understand and analyze human language. Up next, in the final module of the course, we'll take a look at the effects of AI in the world of business. Let's wrap it up for now. We'll bring you more informative content in our next video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you for watching.